Broadcast started to YouTube. Perfect. Now, let's get some advertising and then we'll get started. Oh boy.
Now,
Alrighty. Put here. Put here. There. And over here. Perfection. And now let's look at the chat. Hey Joel, free hat and build the dome. Yes, sir. Anyway, we're gonna get started on our event grind for today, and honestly, I'm pretty excited. Aren't you? Let's see if I'm using the right deck, just in case I ever changed it. Alright, good. So today we are going to have a lesson on internet toxicity, whether it be online or online. So, let's get started. I made a playlist of videos related to toxicity that I simply got by searching up toxicity on the internet. So, yeah, let's get started, shall we?
What's up, everyone? It's John, and welcome to this video. Today, I wanted to make something a little bit different. Now, no matter where you go on the internet,
hey,
no
Devin.
matter where you go in real life, you'll always run into toxic people. So I wanted to talk to you about the toxic people that you'll run into on the internet. Now, every single gamer went okay. Everyone got along. And then as soon as we get into the game, someone decides that they're going to go mid. Or someone disagrees with a strategy that you call, and then they just alt F4.
a summoner has disconnected.
Hey, GWC, how are you?
Above happened. You just started playing the game, and everything is going all right.
Oh,
and
shit.
then something takes a turn for the worse.
Reincarnation 73.
This is completely counterproductive. In fact, this makes everyone on the team play worse because they have to sit there and read your drama. You didn't have a good day? We understand, but there's absolutely no way that this could help us.
Oh, Jesus.
There are a lot of toxic people in World of Warcraft, many of which I've had a very unlucky experience to be able to encounter. These toxic people can make it nearly impossible to get into a raid. They can make it impossible to play PvP.
Well, I kind of fucked that up. My deck was just not ready. My ranged units weren't popping up, so I'm just gonna die.
Make it a terrible experience for you to join their guild. You've got some people, for some reason, they put stupid requirements on joining their guild, even if they don't have those requirements themselves.
Just by good players leave the bad to die. You will always be nothing. You'll never be good.
You want to kill people who throw up the fart emote. Oof. I'm more against the laughing emoji.
That's how bad you are. You are semi-retarded. You are shit in a baby's diaper. Is all you are. You're fucking nothing.
Shots fired. I repeat, shots fired. Requesting assistance. No, I'm just kidding, guys. But he's so toxic. It's really crazy whenever people start taking a video game.
Hey,
start
Fartcore.
turning it into something that is like a popularity contest. Or a showcase of who has a bigger E than the other guy.
Well,
It's absolutely
this guy's
ridiculous.
name is
Now, I
pretty
know a lot of you
interesting.
guys watch Twitch, and on Twitch you see toxic people all the time. In fact, you see them every single second. Many channels on Twitch TV have super toxic chat. Unfortunately, for the streamer, there's not much they can do. They can set their rules in their chat. They can have
let's see.
moderators constantly observing and monitoring.
This is gonna play
what's going on
something
in
I
the
don't want to
chat.
lose to
Sometimes
someone
it's
with the
just
N-word
spammy
as
to
their
handle.
name.
And then some streamers don't moderate their chat whatsoever.
Yo, dude, can you tell her I stared at her butt a little bit?
Oof. Is there any point of grinding? Probably. It depends, really. Not everyone gets the same things. So, it depends on your luck, and it depends on what you want. Of course, the sci-fi cards are pretty limited. If you're looking for sci-fi cards, you're probably not going to get too much. At least that's what I've heard.
People who use
And that's what I've kind of seen. I haven't been getting a lot.
People that just randomly
I've been getting Robo Bebe, but shoot, that's about it.
but they did it anyway because they don't care. And then we have the team killers. Whenever someone intentionally kills a team, that's super toxic and it totally changes the mood for the rest of the game.
Oh god, the assassin spam.
Cheaters is the worst thing the internet has to offer. Whether it's people cheating in WoW, whether it's people cheating
Yeah, there's nothing I can do
in any other
here.
game, or just cheating the internet in general, they are the most toxic of them. I've had
Everyone,
titles
around.
stolen from me for cheating. I have more reason than anyone to be really pissed off at these people, but you know what? There's only one way to deal with these people, and that is to never have an interaction with them ever again. The internet offers you an option to essentially delete people from your life. Now, you shouldn't be going around and deleting everyone, although it is pretty nice to have the option if you never want to deal with someone ever again. And that's my philosophy.
I wish I had the assassin spam, but no, I have crappy mystic assassins and 2 good
Tell
assassins.
me your most toxic experience in a video game or on the internet. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the next daily upload. Peace out.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get far. Yeah, I'm fucked. I mean, that's not a problem. You do you. It's probably the best strategy there is, if you're not against poison, of course. But I wish I could fucking assassin
Something about our
spam.
favorite video games just brings out the worst in people.
Yeah, absolutely. Sci-fi cards are limited for something that's supposed to be a sci-fi event.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most...
Oh no, watch Mojo, no!
For this list, we're looking at those communities...
Yeah, and they're both complete shit. Oh, reporting for Pappy, Steve, of course, I have to do it.
We'll only be focusing on the video games themselves, so communities revolving around console fanboys or the PC master race will not be included, as annoying as they are. And hey, if you love these games and you're not too toxic, cool story, bro, we love you. Keep playing nice. Number 10, Dark Souls series. There's no denying that these games...
There we go, all reported.
Some of the
2020.
most impressive worlds and challenging gameplay we've ever seen. Unfortunately, with the series' infamous difficulty comes an elitist, hardcore community who feel as if they are superior to the filthy...
We're stopping toxicity the only way we can. End to toxicity. And oh,
Good, which is always helpful, right?
power fist me, daddy. I got 3 ranks from that.
Finally,
I went up 3 ranks from that.
it's filled with constant showboaters, hackers, and lag stabbers, adding a layer of frustration that even the developers didn't fully intend. Number 9, FIFA series. Soccer, excuse me, football is one of the most popular sports in the world, so it's natural that the FIFA series would draw in millions
Activity
of players every year.
feed.
Unfortunately, a lot of these players are cheaters and crybabies.
If they score now, they'll get properly angry. Oh my god!
That's right, dude. We're number 1
The series has a
in
history
dealing
of
with
practice,
toxicity.
the structure of the game, but it's the general attitude in the matches themselves that annoy people the most. You'll be lucky to even finish a game in the first place. Many players are known to simply disconnect after letting in a goal or 2. For those of us who are lucky enough to finish, we are often treated to childish screaming, spamming, and obnoxious celebrations. That's some great sportsmanship there, boys. Number 8, DayZ.
You're surrounded. Don't move, don't move. Okay, it's okay, we're not gonna kill you.
DayZ's concept revolves around a sense of community. Ironically, it has since developed into the lawless wasteland that is known as today, simply based on the notion that people are dicks.
Go.
Whoa! Due to the the nature of the game, DayZ is essentially an asshole simulator, seemingly bringing out the most sadistic trolls in the gaming community, intent on one thing and one thing only: killing you, taking your stuff, and erasing hours of progress. It seems that no matter your intentions, whether you want to scavenge in silence or approach someone with friendly intentions, you'll end up getting a bullet or KO.
I wish she hit Timmy. Fuck.
Of danger and realism, but in the end, it can get really, really annoying.
Okay, I think we didn't notice you wiggle out of those handcuffs.
Number 7, Mass Effect series.
How's it look? Like hell? Take a look for yourself.
It's no secret that fans get very involved in a good story, and they voice their displeasure when the conclusion doesn't satisfy their imaginations. That's what happened with Mass Effect 3. Add to this the fact that the game included multiplayer that nobody really asked for, and you have a recipe for an angry mob on your hands.
I was created to bring balance, to be the catalyst for peace between organics and synthetics.
Voicing your opinion against something you don't like is totally fine. We played it, and yeah, the ending kind of blows. But the worst part of this was when the retake Mass Effect crowd tried to leverage the Child's Play charity in order to help their...
Oh my god, I'm really not liking the fact that Wendy didn't hit Timmy when she was firing at the fucking base. If she just did that, I'd be in a whole better situation right now. And sadly, that's not the case.
Why shouldn't we be honest? Number 6, Team Fortress 2.
Look, go! Move in! Move up! Move up! Top 1,000! Faster than that!
While many players of Team Fortress 2 are perfectly fine, there is a small, vocal minority that makes the game unbearable for everyone, especially for new players. The game seems to draw a lot of elitist gamers who believe that they are kind of better than everyone, and being vote-kicked for playing poorly or playing as the wrong character is not uncommon in this one.
All you guys do is get flanked. You little
Great.
Sentry in the middle, and it won't happen.
Dog Poo painfully died to try to end toxicity. He certainly did. You fucking hate Zen. Well, it's pretty much all Mystic has besides like 2 other cards. So you're gonna have to deal with it, man.
That was a fucking garbage display of heavy. Jesus fucking Christ.
At least you don't have to see it every match, unlike Cough Cough Poison Cough Cough.
Your mom's probably dead.
Or Stan the Great and Assassin Spam Cough Cough. I mean, in the list of things to be fearing, Zen is one of the lessers. Because there's so much worse. There's so much worse out there that will actually cause you more trouble.
Team killers, team rankers, and of course griefers.
I can put so many moves on it.
That wasn't all. The servers are also poorly managed, encouraging shady tactics and, in some cases, hacking. To truly experience this series, it's best to find some buddies to play with, because the people you'll be randomly matched with are a mixed bag, to say the least. Number 4, Minecraft.
How long do you think that thing's demolished them?
Oh, when it takes to demolish his house, don't you worry about that. It's well on its way right now, being completely flat. Many people in the Minecraft community work together and create magnificent things. There are others who do the exact opposite, particularly on public servers. Unfortunately, with popular games come immature gamers, and Minecraft is built to the brim with them. I'm a little surprised for you. You'll see. Oh, you'll see.
I love how Mystic is even weak to Mystic. Yeah, I give up. Like, seriously, if a Mystic player and a Mystic player are going against each other, they can't even counter each other.
The popularization of the term
It's pretty much a level fucking problem there.
This has become a serious problem for server admins and neutral gamers alike.
If you play Mystic, you're gonna have problems with Mystic. That is so stupid.
Who do you think you
Because Mystic is that weak.
Halo was the pinnacle of the online multiplayer experience, as Halo 2 perfected the art of Xbox Live and became immensely popular. However, due to its popularity, it has drawn both children, childish adults, and new fans who do nothing but clash with the old. Most games devolve around childish screaming matches and immature teabagging, while the forums are filled with arguments regarding the quality of each game compared to the next. Old fans want the classic Halo gameplay returned and whine about every new gameplay element that 343
Well, it's been
implements.
15 minutes and we haven't won a single match. I think we're doing really good.
Both sets do nothing but argue with each other. Can't we just play the game and have fun? No? Okay.
Oh, this is war.
Number 2, Call of Duty series.
I don't care what you have.
Please be ranking. I can't ever have a good thing happen, can I? Die!
Perhaps one of the most infamous communities in video gaming are the Call of Duty fans. Well, we say fans extremely lightly because it seems that no one actually enjoys playing these games. They just complain about certain aspects.
Oh, does his boyfriend like fart into the microphone every 2 seconds or something? You know?
Many online discussions, a lot of which
Well,
feature people
there goes
don't actually
Wendy.
play, revolve around how these games are
There
literally the
goes
worst of all time.
everyone.
And
Yeah, at least I got a
players
few
declare
hits
they'll never
off.
buy another Call of Duty game again
That's
because they're all the
something.
same, man. Yet they still continue to buy every iteration. The online portion is also no picnic, as it is well known for the whiny children, all of which are either spamming, accusing good players of hacking, or just
Level 5 Zen. I can call
You know how
it
dirty
death
that
here.
is? You up in real life. No, you wouldn't. Fuck out of here. You're a little bit. You'd kill your ass. You sound like you weigh 120 pounds, please.
Alright, so the whole strategy here is to get...
You can't solo queue because your
Dwarf King Clyde is pretty broken.
You can't even play this game correctly.
Both negatively and positively, depending on your luck. Moto, what's up, James? Nothing much, just failing. How are you?
And for good reason. Something about these games just seems to bring out the worst in people, as you will hear some of the most profane, racist, and inappropriate language you will ever hear while playing a game. You started to kill me, do idiot!
Alright, everyone's going to die. That's lovely.
Players can sabotage teammates with additional feeding and verbally abuse other gamers for performing poorly. Many remain unapologetic in light of their behavior, and it's gotten so bad that major gaming websites have actively written about the problem. But perhaps the worst part of all is how the two communities are incredibly hostile to each other. Why can't they just get along and be nice to each other? That's a very good question.
Lynch, you're not f***ing knitting. F*** off. You got offline bar. Oh, you f***ing kidding me? F***ing hell. I'm reporting this arsehole. Please move. Multiple reports.
Do you agree with our list?
No! I'm not there!
Dwarf King is just very broken in general. There's no specific problem with him, because his entire existence is a problem.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to water plants and Animal Crossing. No toxicity there.
Alright, waiting.
I am at peace.
There's multiple problems with him, though. Like, sometimes he doesn't do his war cry, sometimes he triple war cries, but that might be because of your lag. I've never heard this problem come from anyone else. So yeah, sometimes his war cry doesn't go, sometimes he bugs out and runs very slowly, sometimes he triple war cries like what you did. There's no specific problem with him. His entire existence is simply full of bugs. He is a very broken card, both in good ways and bad ways, depending on your luck.
You know what Sven should do? He should not react. He should not engage. He should diffuse. He should de-escalate. He should calm down. He should be in control. But instead, Sven goes, "What you think? I see you fucking suck. You're not even getting
One bar towards my PvP pack.
No.
What fun.
You're whoever the hell." I think that 80% of the people who are actually probably way higher. I'd even say as high as like 95% of the people who are toxic didn't go into the game being toxic, but they felt justified in being an asshole because he was an asshole. That bothers me. That bothers me. Alright, here's the rule of the internet. Are you ready for the rule of the internet? Anyone who's acting like a 12-year-old or who is saying, "Oh, God,
Yeah, I
he's
saw that.
12-year-old,"
That's the guy that just left. He just switched accounts.
100% of those people are in their 30s.
Please, Clyde. Please, Clyde.
Who's acting like a 12-year-old?
No, you
Being a
dick.
12-year-old, they're in their 30s, guaranteed. It's just
There's
so
nothing I can do.
Like, God, disagreeing on what 12-year-olds are doing. They're on the
Oh my God.
freshest social media platform that doesn't make any sense. It's where you can, like, you send send an image with some
Oh my god.
vibration. We're like, that's it. That's the new social media platform. All those kids are on this new social
Yeah,
media
that's just
platform.
one problem with
It's
them, man.
non-social gram.
And it might be because you're lag, because you're the only person I know that's recorded this.
That's all.
And I constantly look at the bugs and glitches part of the Reddit. Oh, not the Reddit, the Discord. You're the only person that's ever reported this. So either it's a really rare bug or it's because you're lag.
Death Prophet. No 12-year-old gives a shit if anyone listens to his opinion about mid-lane matchups. No 12-year-old cares about that. 12-year-olds' emotions are fleeting at best. But that 32-year-old who got out of college didn't get the...
I give up. Good game. Can't beat Assassin Spam. And, of course, Stan Many Moons and
He has
Mecha
Dota.
Timmy.
He comes home after his long day with his boss, who's balding, and gets real excited about his ties and commands him to do shitty work he doesn't want to do. He comes home, and the one thing he has is /r/Dota 2, where he can try to drop knowledge bombs because, by God, he hit 4K and it was hard. And if someone disagrees with him, well, guess what, motherfucker? All this repressed anger that I have from work, where Charles is telling me what to do, you are gonna fucking get it. I don't care. I'm gonna get downvoted into oblivion. I'm not gonna let this go. You think I'm gonna let this go? I'm 32, man. I got 20 more years of corporate grinding to go, minimum. And those are the people who, when you're playing a game of Dota, those are the people who are like, this fucking Sven doesn't have a BKB. No, of course, Steven. Of course, upset, angry 32-year-old Steven.
I'll check in a bit. I'm Savage, but, for solo event, I'm definitely, on the 3/4. I'm slightly before, before the 3/4. I'm halfway done.
We're gonna win it. Let's calm Steven down.
Because, I just started the stream and I only one game since.
Let's not escalate it and go, well, fuck you, Steven. You don't know how to play Death Prophet.
Oh, is that so?
Matchup in mid. This is what
Well, he certainly is helping, but it's good to see that we'd be fine without him.
Give him a better.
He's really doing a lot.
This is why, if someone's shitty to you in a multiplayer game, absorb it. Just absorb it. Absorb their pain. Take that pain and just make sure it doesn't go anywhere nasty.
I appreciate him coming out. I mean, he's been a big help, both with donations and, of course, with the team event. Sure, maybe we don't need him, but he's really speeding the process up, and it's making me be able to sleep at night.
To talk to you guys on, also known as YouTube. One of the coolest things about it is that it really fosters a community around the videos and a discussion by having a comment section, right? And one of my biggest things on YouTube with all the videos that I do is I invite and encourage you guys to leave as many comments as you want and have a discussion with me, ask questions, disagree with me, whatever you want to do. Perfectly cool. What I'm not okay with is people being toxic and belligerent and crappy to each other, okay? I did a video months ago about there being no reason to be crappy with people in public, and I would stand by that.
Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do here?
I'm all about comments. I love it. I love the discussion we have. Some of the videos that I've got out there are starting to really cascade in like a ton of comments, which is awesome. And some of them disagree with me. Some of them point out stuff that I missed in videos, and I will respond to every single one of them. I'm super cool with that. That's like probably my favorite part about this whole YouTube thing and talking to you guys and trying to put out all this stuff is the discussion that we end up having. But I've gotten just a couple, not very many. Almost all of them have been super cool or constructive. Even when they disagree with me, they've been super constructive. But I've gotten just a couple of comments that are just obvious, nasty, belligerent, toxic things that are just lashing out at people for absolutely no reason. And we're not gonna do that. That's the one thing I'm not gonna do. Disagree with me all you want to. You can even heavily disagree with me. But if you go into the YouTube comment section on my videos and you post a comment where you are being belligerent towards me or towards other commenters or just being
super cool
nasty prick for absolutely no reason because for some reason you're unhappy with something in your life and you just feel like taking it out on people on the internet, it's not going to happen. This is not a measuring contest of how crappy can you be to somebody else. It's a community and it's a conversation. So comment all you want to. I will not delete comments where you disagree with me. I will not delete comments where you disagree with somebody else in the comment section. If you find something in my videos that's wrong or you disagree with or you just think it needs bringing attention, put it in the comment section. I'm all about it. I will not delete it. However, I will not tolerate cursing at my other commenters.
Bruh, Zen was in the way. How did she die?
It depends on how it is, but if it's obviously malicious,
I hate everyone. I hate me
if
too,
you're
Happy.
being nasty and belligerent towards people, not going to happen. For example, I had someone in my comment section this morning on one of my motorcycle videos.
List of things I'm weak to as a Mystic player. 1. Sci-fi. 2. Adventure. 3. Fantasy. And 4. Mystic.
And people who ride
Oh wait! That's all the themes!
example of a belligerent
Isn't that something?
ridiculous. I embrace all motorcycles. I embrace all
Huh!
motorcycles. I've got cruisers. I've got classic stuff. I got sport
Ain't
bikes.
that something? What's playing in the background? I have a playlist of things having to do with toxicity.
Welcome, okay? That's what I'm trying to foster here. That's the community. I embrace all riders and I embrace all types of motorcycles. I am not specific to one type. I'm not specific
Who are you
to
even
one
watching? I'm
brand.
not even watching this. I'm just playing in the background,
Bring
man.
it on. Honda, bring it on. Yamaha, bring it on. Royal Enfield, bring it on. KTM, Ducati,
Oof.
whatever you want. Triumph. If you got a Kimco you're in love with, bring it on. That's what I'm trying to
Bruh,
foster
everyone's
here.
dying.
We're all
Shit.
riders. Doesn't matter what brand it is, it doesn't matter what type it is. They're all awesome in their own way. That's what I'm trying to foster here. If you want to make comments about some type of
And
motorcycle,
Nelly
all
ain't
being
here.
pieces of crap because you don't
That's
like them,
okay.
to hell with you. That's not what we're all about here.
Heidi
That's
and
toxic.
is doing all
That's
that
what I'm not gonna
on
do.
her own.
There's too much negativity and too much toxicity on the internet. We're just not going to do it. So, I love
Who's
all
he
you
even
guys. I love the
sniping?
community we're building. We're over 100 subscribers now. We're seeing small to some people. That is not small to me. I appreciate
Oof.
every single one of you.
My special
and I
attack.
appreciate and respond to every
The-
single comment that I get.
The
I'm here
low
to help
battery.
you build a community. That's what we're doing.
I really hope they don't do it. I really don't want the superhero theme. It's just gonna make things worse. Because I definitely need a 5th theme to be weak to, right? Well, that was a terrible use of a card.
Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Risk here, and, I am here with the Dabber himself, Retro.
The Dabber himself.
Alright, so
I know there was just one Dabber in the world.
Paradise.
I guess now we know.
And we're all in a lobby with, these random kids.
Wendy. Oh, no,
We
hiding.
got Dr. Dre. We got Avoca, Elevator 42.
Elevator 42. And then FV Flame and FV.
Look at that, I almost got the best airtime, so I'm not good at games. You guys are
Literally, all you do is you just enjoy the voice and start talking.
Oh no, I'm more concerned about the fact I'm already weak to all the themes, including my own. So I'm not really too happy about a 5th theme. Like, I don't want one. I'm weak to enough things. I don't need another thing on my plate to prepare for and try to outwit. I am not happy with a 5th theme. I don't want a 5th theme. I want nothing. Just nothing.
I found the doctor. Yeah.
Kill me, please. Good game. Good game. Good game. Just finish me off.
distracted, right?
Let me cook up a dis.
Oh, f***ing Brady won, you two. I'm the elevator.
Hello, K-Tally.
Don't call me a holy shit, Avoca, you piece of
Nice
come at me.
microphone
Come at me right now.
quality.
I dare you, mother. Come over here. Come on. Meet me on the highway. I dare you. I dare you. He killed me and then didn't get wrecked.
Oh, I took him down. Get on my level. And literally, I ran into him as he spawned and just took him down. Oh no, he's after me, dude. Help. Dude, which one are you?
Man, I'm getting out of here. I'm green.
Help me.
Avoca, you're a piece of Avoca, f*** you. No, you're dead, man. You're dead. Hey, elevator, you piece of get. You just got absolutely juked. Elevator 42, you should not even be in this lobby anymore. You literally just got destroyed.
This lobby's lit right now, dude.
Killuminati.
Is that a human being or is that a
A human being.
You gotta keep dodging him because he's fat.
Dude, tell him to start up a marked man game. Let's go into the spot that we found.
Whoever the host is,
Please
start the
don't
marked man
play
game.
anything,
Oh my God.
sir.
Okay, there we go, elevator. After 50 minutes,
I don't want to
you
die
finally got me.
again.
You're gonna drive away
I
now, or
doesn't
you're
want to
gonna spawn
progress.
kill me?
That's all I want to do, sir.
Oh, look at that. You're gonna spawn kill me. Yes.
Your voice keeps cutting out in the game. Like it's.
I got kicked.
You got kicked?
I got kicked.
Please do something,
Go
sir.
back if you can.
I don't think I want to wait anymore.
This time, don't do that.
I'm just kind of scared.
Oh,
I don't want to die. I have died most of this stream so far. I don't want to die again. I don't want to risk it. I'm scared. I'm really scared.
I'm gonna report you guys for crushing them me.
Anyway, dude, grab
Custodio Grande!
Oh,
Oh, God, praise you, human.
I don't regret anymore.
Reincarnation better be safe. My vision shows you're the strongest element.
Whoa, I'm using Zen.
By my grace. Hey!
Yo, dude, 27.
You want a cracker? Healing shot. Take flight.
Oh, God, he's one of these people. I want to die, don't we all?
What is wrong with him? He moves for like he's AFK. Like, is he trying to figure out how to make it? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, what's going on? He just goes forward until you hit the wall. And he just sits there. Okay, now there's a spot.
Good game.
What? Wait, is he a bus? Wait, what? He's a bus. I think we have a hacker here. I'm pretty sure that's not a normal thing. I don't think you can literally just become a bus, as far as I know. Maybe that's one of the last things you get, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, I gotta check my team stuff and stuff. Yeah, we need 200 something more. Like 200. I'm gonna say 40?
Not a bus.
230, actually. 230. And for here, we need about 6,000. Well, 5,900. We'll be fine.
Going like 80 miles an hour, just straight. That looks so out of place. I mean, like, so do these cars just randomly driving by, crashing into everything. But, like, just the fact that he's just some giant bus is just wacky. Like, that seems like it would be a little bit overpowered. Yeah, dude, he's hacking. He just turned into one of these cars. Wow, dude. A hacker. Does he have God mode now? He has God mode. Alright, no, he doesn't. Yeah, dude, he's hacking. There's actually a kid hacking on Burnout Paradise. This is the funniest crap I've seen in my life. Dude, the fact that this exists. Like, he stops for a second.
James, I'm surprised too. Slavius is a nice guy.
I wonder. Probably gonna turn into
I'm hacking. Oof, you caught me.
Right? Dude, are they... What is he doing? He's just sitting there driving forward. This is the same crap that YoDude27 was doing. What is that? Is this half of a trailer? Keep shining. Dude, what did he just turn into? He just turned into Taxi. What is going on? Honestly, I did not mean to go into Showtime, but you know what? That's cool. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. I don't know where the heck Retro went. I think he just died. But if you enjoyed this video that I honestly don't even know what it was. If you enjoyed it at all, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
I didn't enjoy it at all. You have a James confession. Oof, what are you confessing, sir? Yeah, boy! Heidi just fucking did work.
Namaste.
What the that's castle? That's castle. Hold up. No, King Crush just killed Hendrik. Darko. Because King Crush, King Crusader killed Hendrik for no reason.
Nani? Oh, what?
I heal. What ails you?
Such a wonderful place. Many individuals.
Nellie's aggro, damn. Work equals force dot displacement. Oh.
Hello, it's your boy Tyrannicus, and I'm here with a new commentary video today about everybody's...
Well, at least you're doing stuff for the event. You can play as much Legend of Zelda as you want, fam.
Someone else's life pathetic because theirs.
James is a hacker. Oof, you...
Not specifically the internet, but a certain...
I'm hacking the game, dude. I'm obviously energy hacking. Goodbye, sir. Moon, give me power. Moon, give me moon.
As for this, reminds me of not so recently subjects that happened between a fellow Iggy page and...
Oh, damn it, but still 9, I suppose. And, well, Nellie's an aggressive character. I can understand it from that standpoint.
Someone to DM a message saying, please kill yourself because you're doing us a favor. I think that's going a little too far, don't you think? But Ty, haven't we seen you do the same shit, you hypocrite? Well, yes, I would have...
Hey, Firefist Dougie.
Beginning of the video,
nice win, man. Level doesn't matter too much.
Commit suicide.
Commit suicide.
No, it's not fun to enjoy assisting someone to commit suicide. And it's not great. And for those that do it, seem to disagree. Now for this person that was hating on the page, we have stopped the problem, not by blocking or by just getting off entirely, such as most people would think to do. No.
Oh shit, Joel. See ya.
Felt with it in such a manner that seemed really fine, really. We talked to the certain individual about his rude behavior, and although at first seems frustrating, we have seemed to let him confess. I'm not going into detail about it, nor will I talk because of privacy reasons.
Ooh, I think I, self a cheerleader.
So how to do such an individual? Well, at first, don't really care for what the person says. And although some of us may care, some of us may
Same. Wait, hold on. Did Enforcer Jimmy just live through that? I'm pretty sure he was supposed to die there, considering the fact he kind of went back and forth on doing that. Please don't do that again. I can't promise you.
I mean, trolling a troll seems great, don't you think?
Do I care if I'm a boy? That's what you're gonna have to ask yourself.
Being a dick.
That's between you and God.
Resort, though. Because, I mean, a dick can't fuck another dick, so yeah. Anyways, I hope you try to use this technique with haters and trolls, and as well as...
Technique!
No, you're not a shitty person. Or ever believe what the hater says. Hell, that's just one person out of a bunch that would follow you. So yes, never give up.
Technique! Technique!
Also like to point out...
Technique!
I should give a shout out to Bandit's Toy Wild
God.
for helping this.
That's between you and God, sir. I can't say what the Lord would want, because I ain't the Lord, sir. But as you all know, all homosexuals gotta hack.
My videos now. I have added some special effects and skits into this. Just something to make something into my videos. But anyways, I'll try to get not anxiety and try to...
That's called shitty ping.
I guess it worked out in this video. But anyways, that's all.
So guys, to end the vid here, I hope you guys have an awesome day. And
I don't want an awesome day. Go away, you fuck.
So yeah, this is Tyrannical signing off, and peace out.
You can't make me have an awesome
One of my
day.
favorite shows as of recently has been...
What about Lord What's-His-Fuck?
It's this really silly show with this sort of underlying deeper themes of science fiction and family drama. It's a show that initially relied on shock humor, but as the seasons have gone on, it's begun to rely more
I don't believe in Lord What's-His-Fuck,
It's a really easy
sir.
show to watch. That's why when I saw this, I laughed really hard. I mean, it's a smart show, but I can see why people don't like it. I'm Pickle Rick! And you don't need to be super intelligent to watch it. In fact, when I first started watching Rick and Morty, I hated it because I stayed home on a Saturday night to watch Samurai Jack. Yeah, that was a really horrible April Fool's Day joke. But quickly afterwards, I dove straight into it. Only a few months ago, the fanbase was this niche thing that was kind of just for fun. But it's evolved and mutated into this incredibly toxic community that exceeds the absurdity of even the Undertale, Sonic, Super Hulock, and Steven Universe fandom.
We blew up, idiot! Are you really that stupid? Obviously the guy I yelled at overloaded the machine. It takes more than that to kill Rick and Morty,
Parts of the fanbase threatened writers, McDonald's employees, and became really exclusive and elitist. But how did it go from this niche thing into this
not elitist,
toxic, hateful, and obnoxious mess? I mean, I know that this is only representative of a small percentage of the Rick and Morty fanbase, but it's ruining the reputation of the whole show. Rick and Morty is in...
That's because the humor is extremely subtle.
Normies like it. A few years back, I was a huge Marble Hornets fan, but when Slender came out, that little niche community I was in suddenly was introduced to everyone. It was no longer this special thing for me and my friends to watch, and for me to introduce to people. Everyone already knew about it. I was 16, and at the time, I felt like I needed to clarify that I liked Marble Hornets and Slender Man before the game came out. Essentially, I liked it before it was cool. And you guys call me hipster trash. But after a while, I was totally okay with it. I mean, it's not like Marble Hornets was directly tied into what I thought about myself as a person. It's okay that other people know what it is, but unfortunately, not everyone has the same reaction as that. People want to make a distinction between real fans and those who are just jumping on the bandwagon.
Oh,
if you like
shit.
certain things about the show more than others, you could be wrong. And if you're not totally obsessed with it, you might not actually be a true fan of the series. You might be a fake fan. And on that subject, I totally think obsession is another cause. It's completely okay to like a show a lot. It's okay to get tattoos, cosplay, and it's okay to make silly lip sync videos while in cosplay. Seriously, these people aren't hurting anyone. But you don't suddenly become a part of the show just because you like it. You're not as smart as Rick because you watch the show, and it's okay for people not to like the show at the same level you do. What I love about the few people who actually think watching Rick and Morty is suddenly making them feel intelligent is that the same thing happened with Sherlock a few years ago. People took it as a true education in deduction and reasoning skills. It's not. It's a fictional story. Last weekend, McDonald's was having their Szechuan sauce promotion, which was brought upon because Rick and Morty made a one-off joke about Szechuan sauce. Yeah, almost nobody got any sauce, and some people took it a little too seriously.
Wait, you guys know Szechuan sauce? No. I want Szechuan sauce. Where's my Szechuan sauce? I'm Pickle Rick. I'm Pickle Rick.
I mean, I totally get that the guy was joking and totally trolling, but making a scene like this has the same effect to those in the restaurant regardless if you're joking or not. You're making these McDonald's employees' life a living hell so you can feel like you're part of an in-joke that actually only has the smallest relation to the show itself. I mean, this wasn't a collaboration between McDonald's and Adult Swim. McDonald's just chose to do this on their own. It's the destruction of the niche and obsession that causes toxicity within fan bases. But what does a toxic fan base look like? Well, there's a lot of elitism and a sense of false ownership over the property in question. Last weekend, I was at a convention, and I ran into this guy.
I like Brawl, but Melee's pretty good.
His Samsung was than my iPhone. He needed to validate himself by saying that the fandom that he was...
But yeah, I have no intention of watching Infinity crap.
The Apple fandom. I just didn't care. But for some reason, he felt the need to define his superiority over me due to his tastes about phones. When critiquing media, just critiquing media, everything is subjective.
People always ask me what's an objective way to critique something, and the answer is there isn't one. There is no objective way to critique.
Yo, dude, that's toxic!
Show. The closest thing you can get to objectivity.
You're best Lappy. You're the only Lappy because no one else wants to be Lappy, fam. Burn!
But that's it. If someone liked the finale of Rick and Morty, that's okay. Not every finale needs to be a dramatic cliffhanger ending with 9 Inch Nails music played over it. Don't attack people for having that opinion, and don't attack people for not liking it. Some of the intense reactions that I get personally from my opinion is incredible. I get told all the time that my opinion is biased. And to that I say, no shit. I'm talking about video games. My reviews are biased to my own tastes. If I talk about a children's cartoon, my opinion is biased to the effect that I'm an adult. These aren't mathematical truths about the world that I'm discussing. I'm not engaging in political discourse while being uninformed about statistics or public thought. I really can't have a wrong opinion when talking about Digimon, no matter how you look at it. People try. I talk about Pokemon and I get scolded because the series has apparently been going downhill since Gen 1. I talk about liking Gen 1 and I'm told Gen 1 was overrated. I just think it's absurd that someone has such an intense reaction to something that at the end of the day doesn't matter. It's okay to disagree on cartoons and video games and movies. I don't need to be told to kill myself when I disagree with your opinion. If you don't know what gatekeeping is, just
I'm pretty sure Sally hit him.
I'm a fan
pretty
of
sure.
The show is great. Somebody
But okay, you know, I can live with that, you know. I'm just gonna die.
You're not truly a fan or capable of doing
Good game.
unless you meet the standards of some douchebag. This can come out in many forms. It can be as simple as someone calling you a casual fan in a nasty way. As if the fact that you just casually
PC Principal's good.
On a Sunday night and
He has his weaknesses though, but he's good.
It's this sort of tribal mentality, attempting to protect a community that doesn't really exist all that much. I think the internet has made it really easy for fans of something to connect with each other, and when people are talking back and forth and sharing opinions, theories, and creative ideas about a show, there's this sense of community. But it's not like it's this organized, exclusive club. But a lot of
SBMM. What's SBMM?
The standards of this club or fan base shouldn't be in it. It's just a completely backwards way of
Super Bros. Melee Man?
Have you ever heard the phrase, they owe it to the fans? Yeah, no. You're not owed anything because you enjoy a TV show. This season of Rick and Morty introduced 2 female writers who had their personal information exposed on the internet and then received death threats. Why? Because some people thought that their favorite cartoon had lost its edge. First of all, were we watching the same show? I distinctly remember an episode where someone was trapped in an imaginary world and survived by raping the imaginary creatures and eating their babies. If you think that the show has lost its edge, though, that's an okay opinion to have. But here's a thought. Maybe shock humor becomes less shocking when you've been conditioned to expect it. To be honest, I really only think the first season of the show relied on shock value. The last 2 seasons of the show still had that edgy humor, but mostly relied on the character development to do character-driven comedy. But in the end, it doesn't matter. I wouldn't care if there was ample, substantial, and verifiable evidence to suggest that these 2 writers were directly responsible for toning down the show's edge factor. You don't dock someone and threaten them when you think your favorite cartoon show has started to have less absurd and edgy humor. You don't have a direct say for the direction the creators and creative team chooses to take that show because you don't own it. It's not yours. Unfortunately, this type of toxicity within the fan bases can spoil outside perceptions of the show and make people not want to be a part of it because they don't want to be associated with this. It sucks for everyone else who wants to enjoy the show. But to try to change the culture, don't be an asshole. Anyways, I'm gonna...
Oh my god, the assassin spam.
...and other things next week, so... Yeah, if this is your first video of mine, please consider subscribing, follow me on social media. I didn't really mean to be a downer this week, it's just something that was bothering me. Yeah. So anyways, social media, links in the description. Thank you for watching, I'll see you next week.
Since you're watching SciShow, you're probably pretty familiar with the internet. It's full of
What? What's the internet?
But like any cool
What's the
and
internet?
magical place, it has its
You
dark
hear
side,
fart
even
noises, so I
its
don't.
very own trolls. Trolling is used to describe a lot of different situations, but basically it's when someone posts an off-topic or inflammatory comment to disrupt an online conversation. Not all trolls are bad. Sometimes they're just goofy, like our own dear Lido Johnny and his questions about butt hair. But others can be more harmful. You might have heard the warning, don't read the comments, to try and avoid potentially aggressive online interactions. But who are the people writing these kinds of comments in the first place, and why do they do what they do? What goes through the mind of a troll? First, let's talk about different kinds of trolling. We think trolling began in the early 1990s on discussion boards like Usenet, basically early versions of message boards or forums. Experienced users would go trolling for newbies by asking overly naive questions or by making new posts about topics that had been way over-discussed. Veterans on the site would recognize each other's usernames and realize what was going on, so only new users would fall for the trap and answer them. This relatively harmless form of trolling was meant to get a laugh from people in the know. They were in it for the lulz. Nowadays, the definition of trolling includes a lot of different kinds of people. For example, some people who self-identify as trolls irritate others for the sake of a joke, like so-called griefers in online gaming communities. Like when someone gets onto your Minecraft server and just puts TNT everywhere. But griefers can also engage in more harmful behavior, going beyond playful rule-breaking and slinging racial
Oh my god.
to upset other players. Some groups like
That's
Anonymous
SciShow.
have grown out of communities that basically celebrate trolling, like 4chan, and use its
Well, you
methods
know
to
what this
oppose
is?
online censorship or make political statements through hacktivism.
New
taking
funky
advantage of
mode.
the
Funky
anonymity
Kong
of
for the
internet.
win,
But other
man.
kinds of trolling are essentially cyberbullying, like the trolls who descend on the memorial pages for deceased teenagers to post harassing comments. No matter the cause, it's hard for victims to distinguish between empty threats and real threats online.
Kick that
which can leave
motherfucking
people
pirate.
stressed and scared. So some behavioral scientists are trying to get to the bottom of it. The internet is still a fairly new place, so psychologists are still figuring out how online spaces affect our psyche and behaviors. Some research
Yeah, I
has
saw
started
it the
to answer
first
the
time,
big
K-Tel.
question.
You don't need to message me.
makes
I'm
the
gonna
troll?
block you
Back
on
in
Discord if you do it
before
again.
Twitter, before YouTube, before
Just
Reddit,
kidding.
a scientist named John Suler coined a term to describe the
I don't wanna be
loosening of social
toxic.
inhibitions because of the anonymity of the internet. The online disinhibition effect. Basically, people are willing to behave differently online than in real life. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can be. Dr. Suler believed that there were 6 key factors that contributed to this effect. First, dissociative anonymity describes the ability to hide your true identity online. This gives people the sense that their online actions can't be linked back to real life and can remove a sense of responsibility. Next, because social media and online forums usually rely on text-based communication, this also instills a sense of invisibility.
Please,
Without eye
Clyde,
contact or body language,
please.
commenters can become more
There are
disconnected.
4 people on there and you couldn't hit one?
Synchronicity, meaning that you don't have to immediately respond to someone. You can disengage and re-engage whenever you want, and craft your responses more carefully than in face-to-face conversation. It can also be hard to see other internet users as real people who are affected by the things we say and do. And one part of that is solipsistic interjection, which means you basically create a character of the other person in your mind. By only having their words to read, you can sort of hear their responses in an imagined voice in your head, so the other person has become dehumanized. As a result, there's a disconnect between the real conversation you're having and your constructed version of the other person. This can then lead to dissociative imagination, where
I'll
online
message you,
interactions are seen
man.
as more of a fantasy than a reality. They can almost become a game, one that's easy to turn off and walk away from. This could be especially relevant to griefers. They're just people playing a different kind of online game, one that's more about a social experiment and messing with other players. And when it comes to trolling, a big part is the minimization of authority, the lack of clearly defined authority figures online. Viewing other users as peers makes it easier to say whatever you want, including toxic comments, because there's no fear of punishment. Since the first description of the online disinhibition effect, internet communities have grown, and so has our definition of trolling. But the research on trolling behavior is
Very, very balanced
studies are
card,
completed
man.
through online surveys, so they rely on participants to self-report what they do. And since there are lots of different kinds of trolls, the psychology behind the actions and reactions that they cause.
Level 3 Robo
Motivating
Baby.
someone to consistently comment about butt hair is almost definitely not the same thing that motivates a troll to spam someone with death threats. Some recent studies have focused on more aggressive kinds of trolls and the presence of traits associated with the so-called dark triad or dark tetrad. And the name is pretty fitting for this group of personality traits. For example, one personality type is known as the Machiavellian, which is predisposed to being cold and detached in order to manipulate others. Narcissism, on the other hand, indicates an inflated sense of self and lack of empathy toward other people. You might also have heard the term psychopathy. Psychologists refer to this more accurately as antisocial personality disorder. It results in an inability to feel empathy or guilt and a tendency to take advantage of other people. And sadism describes the tendency to take pleasure from other people's pain.
Yeah, it's both an O, not an I.
In 2014, in an online survey of over 400 people, those who said they enjoyed trolling other people, for example by linking them to jump scare websites or griefing in games, had positive correlations with several of these personality traits. And people who spent the most overall time posting comments online tended to have more antisocial motivations. Rather than participating in message board conversations and online gaming to make friends, they were in it for the trolling. But also, only around 5% of survey respondents specifically said that they enjoyed
Good
trolling,
game, sir.
out of the 60% that said they interact with people online in some way, like by posting comments. So this suggests that mean-spirited trolls only make up a small fraction of commenters.
Hey, I won my 2000th PvP battle. That's nice.
Trolls and these personality traits. Plus, it highlights how the internet can provide an outlet for some individuals with these social tendencies that are less acceptable to express in offline interactions. Of course, this doesn't mean that all self-identified trolls...
Happy 2000th, guys!
It is causing more psychologists to ask interesting questions about the motivations of people who troll. Their research could help everyone understand online trolling a little better, and how to deal with the harmful ones. Many people think that toxic online interactions stem from a lack of meaningful social feedback to help people adjust their behavior. After all, the internet is still pretty new enough that it's not always clear what the social rules are, and it's really
here's to 2000th. I can't fucking say it. 2000. Here's to another 2000.
More comfortable for communities and avoid the worst kinds of cyberbullies and the more vicious trolls. Many activists say that well-moderated communities tend to have more civil conversations. This is linked to the concept used by some social scientists known as the broken windows theory. This says that, for example, areas that have already been hit by vandals are more likely to be targeted again. In other words, where there's already lots of mean-spirited trolling, similar trolls will congregate. On the other hand, communities that already have and enforce civil conversations will discourage more harmful trolls. But intense moderation may make free speech activists cringe. Some people argue that everyone has the right to express themselves however they want, even if other people find it offensive or upsetting.
Are you anti-social? Well, you're talking here, aren't you?
Moderation and anonymity in online environments. But what we do understand about the psychology of trolling can help combat its more serious forms. For example, if the anonymity of the internet is part of what fuels aggressive trolls,
Buck hinted that it's going to be fantasy, and that Hanky will be putting PvP packs.
If a victim manages to humanize themselves, then it might become harder for a troll to keep dissociating, and then they might realize they're doing real harm. Feminist activist and writer Lindy West was trolled repeatedly by a man who was imitating her deceased father on Twitter. She wrote a poignant piece about the experience, and to her surprise, the man behind the Twitter account reached out to directly apologize. In further conversation, he said that after he read her writing about the experience, he was actually able to recognize that she was a real, living human being who was receiving his insults and cruelty. So it's pretty clear that there are a lot of different flavors of trolling, and the mechanisms behind it can vary too. Some of it's pretty harmless, derailing conversations to get a laugh or mess with other players in the game, but some of it can turn into bullying and have serious consequences. Psychologists are trying to understand where this behavior comes from and how these interactions affect our minds. Hopefully, in the future, we'll reach an equilibrium where people on the internet can feel free to express themselves anonymously without hurting others. And in the meantime, just remember, don't feed the trolls. Thanks for watching this episode of SciShow, brought to you by our patrons on Patreon. If you want to help support the show, just go to patreon.com/SciShow, and don't forget to go to youtube.com/SciShow and subscribe.
We haven't talked about the vaccine debate here on SciShow because there is no debate to have. Vaccines don't cause autism, and they save millions of lives every year. But there is
I want Annie.
Thinking that the internet is either the best thing that has ever happened to society, or if it will completely destroy it. You might remember I made a video talking about how people can be quite rude expressing their opinions online, but it's more than people being mean about celebrities and Facebook comments. It's people being genuinely hateful to others they've never met on Twitter and Instagram. It's trolls sending anonymous Tumblr messages telling people to kill themselves. The internet can bring out the worst in human behavior, and as
hey, we can open a pack, but we're not going to do that till the end.
my entire life is on the internet. Frankly, I'm starting to find
Need 110 more.
for an intervention. Why do people choose
Then
to
we
make
can
other
call it a
people
night.
feel bad? Well, generally, either because they're sociopaths who don't care about others. I lack empathy and am indifferent to human suffering. Or they are projecting, where like any typical school bully, they will feel sad or angry or insecure.
I
about
feel
something
angry.
on the inside and want to take those feelings out on
Kill
others.
yourself.
Take that, nerd.
Keep yourself safe.
Why doesn't Daddy love me?
Thank you, Lappy.
What's up, Gaylord?
KYS2.
Lord of the gays. What? Do you want to make out? Excuse me? What?
Mr. Jefferson, I see you, Max Caulfield. Don't even think about leaving here before we talk about your entry.
Feels cathartic. After all, it's healthy to let your feelings out, but if the way that you do that is by bringing others down, then unless you're this guy, you'll probably feel bad about it later. Now, no one ever admits to this because of a thing called pride, which makes it very awkward and embarrassing to ever admit fault or apologize, and you'll never have a rational conversation with someone on the internet.
Alright, J-Bone, make the first move. My defensive mystic deck is for defense.
And you might be punished. But on the internet, it feels like you don't have to worry about those consequences. Take Sister Jessica here, an angel through and through in real life, but when she gets on the internet... When you're talking shit on the internet, not only does it remove the reality of the effect that you
Please
are having
play
on others,
something,
so they're
sir.
physically to trigger your empathy, but because you're hiding your real identity... make you feel happier. And this isn't some selflessness thing. Forget altruism. Be kind.
Huh, what a surprise, he's not
for
playing.
yourself. There's a phrase called rocking chair regret, where you're looking back at your life, age 90, or all the things you did wrong, and imagine thinking, I had one life to enjoy, and I spent the whole time being a miserable, self-loathing cunt. What a waste
Oh, that's
of time.
how I spend my
The
day.
urge to be mean to others is natural, and the internet makes it easier than ever before,
Oof.
but it is a choice. We have one life, so let's just try to make it more enjoyable for others, for ourselves, and don't
Go, my family, go.
or in denial. At the end of the day, most trolls just need a hug. TLDW, don't let the internet turn you into an asshole.
Sir, yes,
The reason I
sir.
make this video and go on about stuff like this so often is seeing this everywhere just stresses me out, and honestly, I just want to try to help as many people as I can enjoy life more and be happier. Please let me know your thoughts. Recently, myself and some YouTuber friends did an anti-bullying special show.
Anti-bullying.
Talking all about why people are mean, how we can be nice to ourselves, but more specifically, what we can do to protect ourselves if we are being bullied, because
I'm being bullied.
the thing to learn is we are in complete control.
I gotta call the bully hunters.
With us on the internet. It was really interesting and I hope genuinely helpful. So if you want
Bully Hunter 69 has joined the game.
If you want to join in with our little campaign to make the internet a more enjoyable place, then you can pledge how you think you can improve your behavior online on Twitter with hashtag nicer internet, as lots of people have been doing.
You can't bully me. I will not stand down, sir.
Click subscribe, as I will undoubtedly be waffling.
I'm gonna call a bully hunter on you.
Peace, love, and
If you were
happiness.
gay, would you date me? No.
And I spent the whole time being a miserable, self-loathing cat. Why, what did you think I said?
Whenever there's breaking news, most of us react on social media, especially when a tragedy occurs. We come together to share our personal experiences, mourn the loss of life, and sometimes express outrage.
In the case of mass shootings, our conversations quickly turn to the cause of these attacks and how to stop them from occurring again. Some share links about gun control while others talk about Second Amendment rights. We like what resonates with us. And
Level 5 Zen, I can kill myself now.
when we see hateful comments, we delete the offending person from our feed. This happens so often that psychologists have given it a name, the nasty effect. Regardless of what a post says, ugly comments only strengthen what you already believe. Delete enough haters from your feed.
Heaters?
Full of people.
I don't know, I hate deleting heaters. They keep me warm.
Polarization. When you only interact with people who share your experience, your beliefs become more extreme. You start to believe that everyone agrees with you. And if they don't, there's something wrong with you. Companies like Google, Facebook, and Twitter have made a fortune through polarization. They figure out your interests and give you more stuff that fits in with your beliefs. All of this keeps us from moving forward on the important issues impacting our world. But what is it about the internet that makes us communicate in such an extreme, nasty way? The popular theory is the internet makes us feel anonymous. No one knows who we are, and that frees us up to say whatever we want without worrying about the consequences. But if you think about it, that doesn't make much sense. No one is anonymous on Facebook. You have to use your real name, and most Facebook users are connected to people they know in real life. Facebook is one of the most public places you can be on the internet. If anonymity caused the nastiest,
Anonymity.
Facebook would be free of all ugly comments. And we know that's just not the case. Let's go to
Alright, time to build up stamina.
New York City's Times Square. 300,000 people come here every day. I don't know the names of anyone here. They're all anonymous. But I don't see anything like the internet's nasty effect. There are lots of people trying to sell me on their causes and people protesting controversial issues, but it's done with civility, for the most part. What's the difference between Times Square and social media? Eye contact. Our brains are wired for face-to-face contact. When we look at someone and they look back at us, it triggers empathy. It's much harder to say
Triggered.
looking someone in the eye. Eye contact calms our aggressive urges and humanizes other people. Eye contact is a foundation of how we've interacted with each other for thousands of years, but it's completely absent from the way social media works. Our brains are better at dealing with opposing ideas when they happen in person. We're more likely to change our minds when we're having a conversation face to face. If you want to change society, you can't silence people who disagree with you. Everyone thinks they're right. No one likes to compromise. We have to be able to face each other and hear each other in order to understand.
Oh, Lappy, you know, I'm gonna skip a bit from this playlist because I have a video that'd be perfect for you.
We care about. It's only a matter of time before we develop a technology that allows us to communicate as naturally as we do face-to-face. Until then, we need to have these conversations, no matter how hard they are, in person. How do you deal with opinions that differ from your own, both on and offline? Has anyone ever changed your opinion, or have you ever changed someone else's? Let me know in the comments below. I'm at Ollie2 on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Ollie at The Psych Show is my email. Be sure to like The Psych Show on Facebook and subscribe
God damn it.
on YouTube.
Disclaimer, I will be speaking about bullying, fat phobia, suicide, racism, and much more in this video. If you do not feel comfortable with diving into this conversation, please click away from the video now. Thank you.
Well, I'm already kind of fucked. Oh, now lightning bolt appears, of course.
I've been about this for quite some time, but I always feared tackling this topic, and I'm making this video to attempt to reach out to those who aren't a part of the Steven Universe community. And to those of you who are part of the community, hi, my name is Sky, and I love Steven Universe. I have never fallen in love with the show this fast in my life. The adventures of Steven and the Crystal Gems have taught myself and many others very important lessons. The most important lesson is understanding. Understanding that people can come from different backgrounds and we treat them equally. Understanding that people can love whoever they want regardless of gender or species. Understanding that we all have our complications and we don't have to face them alone.
No, I don't wanna.
To love yourself for who you are. Never has a show tackled these topics in such a mature and respectful way. In such a way that small children to grown adults can mutually. But one thing I'm having a problem in understanding is why the same people who fight for equality and diversity are the same people who tear people down for being different. We live in a culture that seems to be very offended quite frequently. The whole stigma of Tumblr being a place where people go to be crybabies and triggered about everything. The purpose of this video is to let you know that the negative few do not label an entire community. We as humans by default do this, but we need to take the extra step to understand that not everything is black and white, but many shades of gray. While Tumblr is a home
50 shades to be exact.
Individuals, it's also home to talented artists, hilarious blog posts, photographers, and overall place where people
I tried to. It's not good.
People seem to forget that and label Tumblr as only for the negative, when at the same time there's so much positive on the platform. Another example.
That's great, man, but it's not for me.
For those of you who don't know, I am in a fraternity. Let's go down the list of stigmas around fraternities. All we do is drink and party. You pay for your friends. We're all a bunch of douchebags and boys. These are some stigmas surrounding Greek life, but at the same time, it never
Salty
talks about
Stone
positive.
Cold.
Like how my GPA has never been higher since I joined Greek life because the push
No, it's not for me. I don't like
I
it.
can really be myself with my organization, and we push each other to be the best individuals we can be. This is another example of people seeing the loud negative than rather taking a closer look into what it actually is. Steven Universe is no exception to this. When something is willing to take the next step to shadow stereotypes, it's met with a lot of backlash. We're going to take a look at some of the most toxic incidents in our community that have happened over the last couple years. We're entering the toxic
2 stands, really?
Let's talk about the Lauren Zook incident that happened last year. Lauren Zook is a storyboard artist on Steven Universe. She's worked on many episodes of Steven Universe. Our controversy begins with the leaks from the episode Beta, which is one of the many episodes storyboarded by Lauren Zook. Lauren Zook wasn't happy about these leaks, which is totally understandable. Imagine pouring your heart into something just for it to be shown off beforehand without it being completely in context. But it was about the content of these leaks themselves. The leaks of Beta showed that Lapis and Peridot have moved in together. Over time, Lauren Zook has shown interest in the ship between Lapis and Peridot, Lapidot, posting fan art of the two together. And this is where it all begins. The episode Beta airs on TV. In the episode, Peridot and Lapis have moved in together in the barn. Watching TV together, making art, both characters seem to be getting along. From this, members, a part of the Steven Universe community, accuse Lauren Zook of having an impact on the relationship between Lapis and Peridot. This caused an upset to people who wanted the ship between Peridot and Amethyst, another very popular ship in the community. So they began to harass Lauren Zook on Twitter, accusing her of being a queer baiter. That means teasing queer fans with a possible ship that never comes to fruition. In others, it's bringing up sexual characters' orientation to encourage homophobic attacks against them. Lauren Zook ended up deleting her Twitter because of the harassment. Before she deleted it, she tweeted this. I decided that I don't want to be accessible to thousands of people who think because I work on a TV show that I owe all of myself to them. I don't have control over everything. I like Lapis and Peridot. They're cool. Shout out to people who enjoy the show or criticize it too. Remember, you're tweeting at a literal human being. That's what I am, by the way. And life exists outside of Steven Universe. Bye. If you're a friend, you can text me or reach me at my work email. On the opposite side of the spectrum, fans came together to support Lauren Zook, drawing art and overall sending a positive message to fight back the negative. But no one ever seems to talk about that part. It's usually focused on the negative. But the sensible part of the Steven Universe community came together to do something about all of that negativity. Meaning Lauren Zook had no involvement in whoever is shipped with whoever in the canon. Either way, don't send people death threats over a TV show. It's one thing to give constructive criticism, it's another to be a bully. They're not the same, and people should learn to understand that. This is an instance that affected someone who worked on the show, but we're going back to 2015 to a much sadder incident. This instance actually made it to the mainstream media because of how severe it was.
Goodbye.
This story takes place over the Tumblr user Zami. Zami is a Steven Universe fan who posts her art on Tumblr. To tie this into Steven Universe, she was targeted for posting this art piece of Rose and Steven and Greg. She was attacked for drawing Rose Quartz, a larger character in the Steven Universe series, as thin in her artwork. She was met with death threats, calling her fat-phobic and telling her to kill herself. She attempts to defend herself with a list of rebuttals and explanations. She even apologized to the public for her artwork offending people. But that didn't stop the threats from coming in. Eventually, Zami revealed that she had attempted to commit suicide as a result of the online harassment she received. people calling her a liar and a faker, that she was doing this for attention. She later posted a video telling her experiences at the hospital, as well as a video telling people to seek out help if they were having suicidal thoughts. Other artists started to join in and started drawing rose quartz as thin to show support to Zami. Then the negative side kicked in again, sharing statements like this: if you support people drawing canonly fat characters as skinny or worse, whitewashing person of color representation, you couldn't follow me right now because I don't need your shit. It got so bad that the Crewniverse had to chime in themselves. Ian JQ, who previously worked on the show and who is now working on OKKO, spoke about his opinions on the topic. Keep in mind, these tweets are currently deleted. Fan arts can create whatever art they want, and everyone has the freedom to criticize it for any reason. However, bullying is not criticism. Now Zami is consistently posting very beautiful art on her Tumblr. To chime in on the comment Ian JQ made about fan artists creating whatever they want, fan art is allowing people to see a perspective that isn't present in the actual series, drawing a character to a different color, race, size, species, or whatever, as long as they aren't promoting a negative message along with the art piece. The rose art Zami created didn't say something along the lines of the correct way rose quartz should look. No, that's just the way the artist drew her. The canon is still intact and the fan artists can still draw whoever, however they want. Those attacking this artist for making rose thin are part of the problem I'm talking about. Like I said earlier, people came to support this poor girl who had to deal with this barrage of hate. And she's still doing amazing art on her Tumblr. I'll leave her Tumblr in the description below if you want to check it out. But this story leads into my final story. Overall, a larger part of why I made this video.
Why are you watching a phone destroyer video when you don't play the game anymore?
We're going to talk about the summer of 2017, Concrete.
I don't know.
On July 11, 2017, the Steven Universe Arts and Origins book released. This book was released to take fans behind the scenes of the art behind Steven Universe. The controversy here lies within the pages of the book. Inside the book, there's concept art of many unused gems that didn't make it into the show. Our story revolves around an unused gem named Concrete. The description of Concrete describes her as bashful, super agile, but not as strong as she looks. She has a wicked shoe collection and cannot read. Frowny face. And the drawn image of Concrete causes controversy as well. Her character is with black skin and large lips. Many saw this as a depiction of the racist stereotype blackface. For the first time, the conversation about how toxic the Steven Universe community wasn't because of the fans themselves, but instead the Crewniverse. And there were many sides to the story. Many seeing the Crewniverse as racist for leaving this in the book. Many seeing the fans as overreacting as they're looking too deep into it. I personally believe, while I don't believe the Crewniverse was racist for this, it was irresponsible for them to not notice what this looked like before sending books to stores. Rebecca Sugar later commented on the situation. I would like to apologize. These are images and notes in the art book that call to mind.
It's maybe because I play videos on a set theme and not because I don't like them. I like them or don't like them.
While I personally did not create or select this material, I did miss it during the approval
process. But that's just something that could be possible.
It's extremely important to me and my team that Steven Universe is inclusive and are always respectful to our audience. Any failure at that, I will work to correct immediately. These pictures and notes will be removed from all future printings of Arts and Origins. Now, this sounds like a pretty good apology, but this leads into my point of bringing this up. From the outside, those who don't know Steven Universe lump this instance together with the others as another example of the Steven Universe community being toxic, and that isn't true. This was handled very well and professionally. The community called out the creators for their mistake, and the creators saw this and fixed it. That is the end of the story. But nope, people still saw this as an instance of Steven Universe being toxic. These three stories are all telling very different events, and that leads to my closing statements. The point of me making this video was to explain to not clump everyone and everything together. Each story has many layers, both bad and good, but people focus on the louder, smaller bunch and label the whole bunch because of that. Steven Universe has taught to do the complete opposite of that. See many different perspectives and try to understand and respect them. There's no one side to any social issue, and the entire Steven Universe community isn't toxic.
Can I have lightning, please? Is that just something I can't have? Okay.
To bring down others instead of trying to understand them are part of the problem. But I know the
I'll go fuck myself then.
That
oh, of course. Thanks. Thanks for hitting the fucking assassin and not any of the two people that mattered.
Steven Universe has served as an escape for many. I'd watch this show to get out of my funk. I found my life's past because of how mature this show is. It showed me that I want to do the same thing for others as for what it did for me. And I will always be thankful to them for that. You have to remember that not everything is black or white, and there are many layers of gray. And Steven Universe has such a large spectrum of gray, and I hope you don't label the community as such because of these instances, but instead come to see it for what it actually is. A coming-of-age story of a boy finding his role in the world, being guided by 3 characters with many layers to teach him. He fights for what is right, and he enjoys some fun along the way. Won't you give him a chance to warm your heart like he's warmed mine?
Hey guys, it's the Lerms coming at you with another video blog. This is episode 2. So for today, I wanted to talk a little bit about some toxicity on the internet. And I guess not just on the internet, but in general.
I love Poison. Poison's such a great card.
I don't know, as a kid, I just
so balanced.
Notice it very much. Maybe it's because of the rise of the internet and how popular it is, and how easy it is to go in and make comments on anybody's video or page. You know, I think people have used the internet kind of as an imaginary wall, kind of to block off any attempts to really face up to what you're commenting about. So, I guess kind of to explain that, most people, when you post on the internet, you won't know who they are. You won't know what they look like. You won't know really what they believe in. All you know is their comment. And, you know, maybe on some websites you'll be able to look at a profile that might have some truth to it, because some people put their real stuff on their profile and some people don't. So you really don't know. And the internet really just gives you free reign to say whatever you want, and there's no consequences really. I mean, yeah, sure, maybe on some websites you might get banned for saying certain words, you know, if you have swear words, or, you know, you say something racially charged, you might get a ban, but you might not. And, you know, because of this, people are, I don't know if they're more bold, but maybe they're being more blunt and they're being more representative of who they really are, and are just commenting and saying these really nasty things online. I mean, one example that I'll put down is, you know, for online gaming,
yes!
The communities can be
I hope so.
really bad.
Next balance update's the end of the season.
A lot of different
No, I watched the reruns. I don't want to watch it. Please stop.
I play Overwatch now.
I didn't watch it in order. I watched it on reruns. I did not choose which ones I watched. I chose them compared to what the program gave me. I don't want to watch it. Please stop.
And so demeaning, and they just go and attack other people, whether it's because some people aren't as good as them, or maybe they think that you know, they're the best, or
no,
whatever. But they'll go and attack.
I'm not interested.
And they will just continue spewing these toxic statements over and over again until like the match is over. And it's just, I don't understand why you would go and do that, because especially in gaming, if you do that, you know, and you're playing on a team, toxic statements just make everyone uncomfortable, especially if you're the target for it. You tend to either, you know, kind of withdraw and
if you think that I watched the first few episodes and that makes me not like the show,
in response to
don't tell me to watch it in order. That makes no sense. Oh, you don't like it? You must have watched the first few episodes. Oh, that wasn't the case? Watch it in order. That means I have to watch the first few episodes. It doesn't make sense.
Online gaming, right? So I see this a lot in you know, shooting games. Even in Overwatch, it's becoming a little toxic there. You'll have matches, I'd say maybe like 30% of my matches that I've seen, you'll have somebody that just thinks they're the best, and, you know,
move along, nothing to see here.
They're just telling people, well, why did you pick why'd you pick Symmetra? Why did you pick Torbjorn? You know, pick somebody else. Well, we're gonna lose because of that. What the heck are you doing? You know, I just don't want to swear right now, but you know, people use like swear words and like they are just really bad. And you know, I'd like to give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, people know what they're doing when they play, especially if you get to a certain rank. People know what they're doing, and you know, if something doesn't work, you can politely tell people, you know, oh, I think this might not be a good person for our composition. Would you mind changing to this? This might be better to target a certain character. And you know, I just think that if
like my robes,
were a little nicer in general and didn't make bad comments, you know, this world would be a better place. I mean, it's not just in gaming. You can see that in politics, right? Because with this year's election, you have two candidates that have really divided the...
That's a weird thing to say, considering there wasn't... Oh, really never mind. That's really not too weird to say, I suppose.
Like they hate each other.
Can't wait till Rack and Merity says in 4. Can't wait.
Other people going in and like tearing them down, like physically pulling them out, tearing them out. And you know, online it's the same thing.
Oof. I just got nay-nayed.
Other articles that aren't even related to politics, it just devolves into this political argument. And it's just people just hating on each other. And more hate and just, I don't understand. I don't get why people have the need to do this. I yearn for a time when, you know, you can read articles and have comments that had value. You know,
you give up with what, fam?
To the topic at hand, instead of just having people hate on each other and stuff. I just don't know why people need to be like that. I'm sure that if you were nicer and if everyone made an effort to be nicer, you know, people would be able to resolve more issues and have debates that actually contain value, right? I mean, you can look at the debates, the presidential debates for the past, you know, the past few months, and it's just, I don't even know if you can call them debates, really. I mean, it's what happened to all the substance.
Nothing. Then why'd you say you gave up? If you're not giving up on anything, why say it?
And not talking about
doesn't make sense.
How bad they are and that sort of thing. I hope that the world will
like my robes.
Realize that this is not the best way to approach things, right? We all need to be nicer to each other. We all need to be kind. We can all disagree. You know, everyone's not going to have the same opinion, and that's fine. That's what makes us human beings. That's what makes us, you know, continually evolve as humans, right? Because
Lisa loves you as a person, as a human being.
And, you know, get more innovation from that, because more ideas conflict. You know, you have to make decisions on which ideas are the best. And, you know, sometimes that comes...
I'm proud to be this guy's 12th view in the span of 2 years.
You can't just automatically dismiss other people.
I'm proud.
And, you know, just blindly insult them, you know, and hide behind...
Shut it, James. Shut it down.
Blast everyone that has different opinions about you. Because, you know what that really makes you? It makes you a coward.
Oof! That's toxic. Don't call me a coward.
I think we need to work together to be...
please, no, you know, sir. Please, no.
And we need to work
Have
together
mercy,
to
sir.
Bring back value to our conversations. So that's kind of my rant for today. Just about toxicity and stuff. I just don't like seeing it, and I don't like it spreading like it has been for years. I think we need to do something about it, and I'm hoping to try to not be, you know, a spreader of that, because, you know, sometimes when people...
You got another man bearer pig? Can I have one, please?
Insult them back or say something that's not very nice back at them. So I'm going to be trying my best to not do that. And I'm hoping that everyone, that listens to this video will kind of realize that too, because, I can't be the only one that, responds to other people insulting me, because I can be passionate about things. But, we all have to take the high road, and if people are being, toxic, you just have to let it go, let them simmer down. I mean, you can make a comment in a nice way and kind of suggest, how they can do a little better, but, we should never really insult them and add fuel to the fire, because that's not really going to help, right? So hopefully anyone that watches this video can kind of get that as a takeaway, and that's my message for today. So thanks for taking a look at this video blog.
You're welcome.
I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I hope that you're able to spread a little bit of kindness around and not
I just want one man bear pig, because that's so much to ask.
In the next video. Have a good day, guys.
You too, sir. You too. I think he gave up. Nope.
I have seen a lot on Reddit recently that people are complaining about toxicity, and I want to talk about how it actually happens and what goes through people's mind when you start being toxic.
Get nay-nayed.
So the first point is that people are so selfish to look at the gameplay and improve it. It's just a lot easier to blame others and
move away, rat. I want to kill him.
Player in the world. And the brain always wants to take the shortest way, and the shortest way to deal with a loss is just to blame other people. For example, if I die in a solo lane before minions arrive, and we end up losing the game, it's typical that they blame.
Let's look at our progress. We are done.
After that moment,
I can look right now before we finish up.
Very emotional. Having a very bad game. Who's flaming because it's easier to blame others for their mistakes than fixing your own.
Dog poo, Bar Brady, Dougie, Fireball, Hallelujah, and Regen. Damn.
And carry the team and maybe get some momentum for them.
Oh, he won.
The guy who's actually behind can be emotional with get back.
Oh shit! No, what am I doing?
Emotional wise.
I didn't press that button. What the fuck?
And with wins and losses, it's okay to get emotional, but just don't directly blame other people, calling them names or wishing that their families and themselves to die. It's just the wrong way to deal with it.
Alright, it's time to open up our next to last solo pack and see how disappointed we are.
Maybe something to eat, so you can clear your mind and then start the game. I know a lot of people
200 tickets, 20 cash, 2 tomes of knowledge, 5 Indian feathers, 3 arrowheads, team quota, we already passed it, 2 sheriff stars, 2 holy candles, 2 prayer beads, 1 harvest Dougie, 1 garbage, 1 Heidi, 2 deckhand butters, 1 ice sniper Wendy, 3 garbage, 2 lightning bolts, 2 garbage, 2 garbage, 3 garbage. Lovely. That's a good pack.
As a toxic player, because no one can hear you unless you of course stream. Or talk with people on
and we're about 5,000 away from finishing the event on here. We should be getting that sometime early tomorrow, I'd say. I'd like to give some shout-outs to Slavius for being a real G. Ice Sniper Apologist, number 3 right there. Devin right there. All Day Baby at number 6. Hazardous Gamers at number 7. Let's see. Liam is Bray at number 17. Fart Court, number 20. Epic Gamer at number 26.
They only know you're toxic when you actually tell them.
Mr. Universe at 30.
They're bad and how they can really
Mr. Joey Man, who's sadly not with us anymore, at number 36. Flartcore's Bay at number 37. K-Towie at number 38.
Just some random guy on the internet. This is just my thoughts on it. And
Real Joey Man, who's back with us, number 48.
really have a toxicity problem. But
And yeah, all we have 3 people in the red. Two of them I can understand. One of them I think I understand. The thing is kind of like, I don't know, but I think they're fine. They're going on a break.
Before we get started, because of the subject
I
matter
respect
of this
that.
video, there's some strong
So yeah, this is our little shout-outs. Oh, Big Rig, Ludwig for number 2. I'm going to do all the top 3s there from now on.
masses of hate-mongering 12-year-olds.
So that's really it. We'll be done with the slime in about tomorrow, maybe before the tomorrow's stream. That's my prediction. Not gonna give away Terrence, but I want to get a stockpile here of Bebe.
Waiting for you in your inbox after the match. I mean, it makes me think.
Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow when we finish the event. We're so close. See you guys.